So I've had this idea in my head for a little while now. What if you could edit a website by sending a text message? The reason for this idea is because as a freelance developer, I've had experience with clients texting me at 3 or 1 o'clock in the morning asking for simple changes to their website. Even though these changes were not critical and did not require a lot of time, I was usually asleep during this time and didn't see the message until I woke up. So I thought, what if the client could just send a text message and update their own site in that instance, rather than having to wait for me to make the changes for them? I thought I had a pretty cool and original idea, but sadly, after doing some research, I found out this idea had already been created a few years ago, and it was called Text to Page, and there was probably other tools out there that did the same thing. However, this didn't stop me from continuing my own version of it. I started working on what I'm now calling AdminBot. To start, I had to figure out what I could use to build this tool. Since I already had some experience in the past using Amazon Lex and Twilio to create a chatbot, I knew I could use these same tools for this project. Next, for my website and API, I chose to build the React app as my front end and use the Express server as my back end, both bundled together and hosted in Heroku. And finally, didn't really need to add any data storage to my project, but to make it a full stack application, I decided to use Firebase's Firestore as my database. You might be thinking, why didn't I just use AWS for all my cloud needs? But honestly, it's just because I had already used these other cloud services in the past for other projects, and I thought it would help build this faster if I just used what I already knew. After a few weeks of hard work and a lot of code, I was able to build my AdminBot MVP. This is how it works. We start off by sending a text message to our Twilio number. In this example, I'm trying to set the nav color to gray. This message goes up to Twilio, makes its way to AWS. Here, Lex works its magic to try to figure out what changes we're trying to make to our web page from the message. With the help of our Lambda function, we're able to make a post call to our Express backend with an object that contains our change. Now, before we even get to the post call, when the React app first loads, it makes a request to our Firestore to get our object, since I'm using an object to hold the properties of my web page. From the request, Firestore sends us our stored object. Our page renders, and we create a local version of this object. Once the post call with our changes made to the API endpoint, our React frontend is using an event source to monitor this endpoint. Once an event is detected, it makes the changes to the local object, which is then reflected on the page. In this process, we're also updating our Firestore object to keep it consistent, and so that next time we load the React app, the same change is still there. So after the initial load, there are no more requests made to Firestore to get the object. All the changes are made to the local version in the front end, and we just update the Firestore with those changes. So if everything goes well and there's no error in the post call, Lambda sends a response message back to Twilio confirming the change has been made. Message goes to Twilio, and then we should see it back in our phone saying a nav color set to gray. As you saw, by only having 4 properties from my website, I kept AdminBot pretty simple, and it could only do a few things. First thing I wanted AdminBot to be able to do is change my nav header title. To do this, I send AdminBot a message saying set nav. From here, AdminBot replies and asks for the new nav heading. And in this case, I just want to set it to awesome website. One issue I did encounter with this is Lex does not work well with spaces in the message, so to fix this, I had to add a dash, and I would later remove this in my Lambda function and replace it with a space. Next, I wanted AdminBot to change my nav and footer color. I thought about having separate commands for each, but in the end I just stayed with a single command for both. The command I'm using is set nav color. After I send the message to AdminBot, again it replies and asks for me to enter the color that I want it to change to. And as you can see here, I just reply with pink. Next, similar to changing the nav header, I also want to be able to change the message in the page's body. For this, I send AdminBot a text saying set message, and as the same as the other changes, it replies and asks for the new message. Here I want to set it to "This is the way," and if you're a Star Wars fan, you might know where this phrase is from. Like the nav and footer, I also wanted to be able to change the body color for my page. To do this, I send a text saying set body color, and after AdminBot replies, I decide to set it to red. Finally, I also wanted to have a command to set the whole page to the same color, so the nav, footer, and body set to one color. For this command, I just enter set page color, and then I set the color to whatever I want, which in this case was gray. Something else that I wanted to show was that I didn't necessarily just need to add one command to set any particular thing. As you can see here, where in the Lex console, you can set different utterances. I could have also set change page color or page color equals, and then input any input. I didn't need just to send the command and then wait for the response. I could have sent everything at the same time. Like I can show real quick. I go to my React app and I'm saying page color equals, let's say black. This should work as well. And this was my admin bot project. I had a lot of fun working on this project and learned some new things along the way. Thank you very much for watching, and until next time.